everyone, I'm the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing a new Ultraman spin-off, the debut of Dino Fury's Sixth Ranger, and Double Zenkaiger. But before all that, Buster, how you doing?
I'm doing actually pretty well for once.
Hey, I thought you were doing pretty well this week. You said you were doing well.
Yeah, even better, I'd say. Had some
nice.
good food, having Coca-Cola, and also making some plans for the rest of the year and next few months on my channel. So that's gonna be fun. I'll explain that when we get to the older Toku section.
Oh, sick! I'm very jazzed that you're doing well, because when you do well, everybody in Modular does well.
Yeah.
And everybody in YouTube does well, because one day we're gonna rule YouTube. Oh God, I've revealed our secret plans to take over the world. Editor, cut that part, please.
You're the editor.
I am. Fuck. I've really been slacking off then.
Well, have you been slacking off in your real life?
No, my real life's been going pretty well. Had a pretty jam-packed weekend because for the first time in a while, we've had non-insufferable weather around here for the last few days where it's been summer, so it's been really damn hot and hard to get out and do things. Also, COVID is a factor. And then the last like month and a half, it's just been raining like crazy here. But finally, at the end of last week, the rain cleared up, and it wasn't humid at all. It was just really nice and cool outside. Like we're talking mid 60s to mid 70s type weather.
Nice.
Yeah. So over the weekend, I took one of my dogs to the park for a nice long walk. I went and saw my dad, which is usually a weekend thing anyway, but I got out and did that. I made some headway on my next video, which is still a ways off, but I've made some headway on it. And I went and saw Shang-Chi and opened a crap ton of G.I. Joe figures that were all really, really good and really, really impressive. If you're not buying the Classified series line, I understand scarcity and exclusivity issues are a thing, but try and get your hand on a couple of those if you just like good toys.
I want to get the Cobra Commander one just because I like that design.
That's interesting because I initially didn't like that design very much. It took a lot of warming up for me, but that's just because I'm the weird G.I. Joe fan where I acknowledge G.I. Joe is very goofy and I like the goofy parts, but I like a more serious Cobra Commander. Yet a lot of G.I. Joe fans are like, no, G.I. Joe is serious business. Also, Cobra Commander is a buffoon. So
yeah. I just like the design, personality. I prefer the buffoonery, but I also like when he can be a bit menacing, a balance, if you will.
Yeah, I think the Serpent Supreme PulseCon exclusive they put out last year was a really good balance because it was basically the same mold. It was just in black and gold, and that made it look really cool. And it had a cape.
Nice. Yeah.
But enough talk about non-tokusatsu related things. Before we get into the show proper, though, just the friendly little reminder that you are listening to this podcast because it's brought to you by Modular Media, the creative co-op that the two of us are a part of. So if you haven't done so yet, please help us out in the YouTube algorithm. If you're listening there, give us a like, comment on this video, subscribe, ring the bell in order to enable notifications and get every single one of the Modular Media podcasts as they come out. Of course, there's this show. There's also the No Prize podcast where myself and Boingo Writer and sometimes Buster discuss the MCU and general comics. There is MMWP where myself and Boingo Writer discuss wrestling every week, and there is Modular Components where whoever is available out of the group gets together at the end of every week and just shoots the shit about whatever. So lots of good content coming from you right here on this channel. And of course, if you're listening to this on a podcasting platform, please follow us there. It helps us out in that algorithm. And if you want to keep up with release information and whatnot, follow us on Twitter at the Modular Media and join our subreddit r/Modular Media. But that is all the plugging I need to do today. So let's crack right on into the news with the first thing. I'm actually talking about the last thing that got announced first, but that's just because it's probably the most unique thing, which is we are getting the third installment in the Ultra Galaxy fight series. The Destined Crossroads had a huge press release. We got the poster, we got 2 new Ultra designs, and we got a full-on trailer for this, thanks to the Ultra Connect special we talked about last week.
Yeah. And it looks pretty sick. I still need to watch Absolute Conspiracy, but I love they make good trailers for these things, and I'm excited to see the theme song because the Ultra Galaxy themes always bop.
It's funny. I've watched Absolute Conspiracy, but I still haven't watched the first one of these. I need to go back and do that.
The first one is it's very much like this is like if you know the characters, like I feel like from what I hear about Absolute Conspiracy, it works well as a better just a story. Ultra Galaxy Fight is pure. First one's pure fan service for new generation.
See, I kind of got that feeling from Absolute Conspiracy too, but this is just an Absolute Conspiracy review now. But like, I also just really liked how I liked it for that reason, because it felt very much like just exposing me to all this Ultraman lore I wasn't yet familiar with, and like it's the same reason why I enjoyed Zenkaiger being my first Sentai of. It felt like a sampler platter for the entire franchise.
I actually think you might enjoy the first Galaxy Fight. So then,
yeah.
Actually, I also speaking of these designs, they're pretty good. Regulus has like a weird nose, but that works.
Yeah, he has like a JoJo nose.
Yeah, that's fine.
I dig his sick tribal tats on the arms.
Yeah, he was teased at the end of Absolute Conspiracy, right?
Yeah. I think they said he's the guy who was in shadow in that last shot.
Yeah. Actually, it would be really cool if next year he is the main Ultra. Like this is just like a prequel. I don't know, because usually we've begun original villains or new forms for other characters in these Ultra Galaxy fights, but we haven't really got like a new Ultra hero. Like I guess you could say Reboot, but Reboot's a Malaysia creation, so.
Oh, I didn't know that about him. I just knew what I knew from the introductory episode with him.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about Diabavalo? Is that
Absolute Diavolo? It looks pretty cool. Looks like an upgrade of the other Absolutes.
Mm-hmm. He's one of those designs I look at and I go, "Yo, I kind of want like an action figure of this, but not like an SH Figure Arts. Like I want Hasbro or McFarlane Toys to make this guy because he's good and beefy. So he'd probably feel really nice if they made him."
I actually do want to see more beef Power Ranger characters now, just so we can get more figures of them.
Yeah, I mean, like Lightning Collection loves going straight for those more beefy, more Kamen Rider-y looking characters. We've already gotten freaking. I'm still not over the fact that they did Magna Defender so early in that line.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And we're about to get Phantom Ranger. Oh my gosh!
I feel like Phantom Ranger's already been out. It's just been so long since they announced him.
He's just that whole wave and a lot of Lightning Collection stuff has just been delayed to high heck because of port issues and whatnot. But currently, the wave with the Phantom Ranger is set to release around January.
Yeah. I'm actually, for this next news warning, I want to give a content warning because this could potentially trigger some listeners. The next part will be focusing on assault. Yeah.
Because at a Gao Ranger 20th anniversary event stage show, the actor for Gao Black, Kazuyoshi Sakai, I want to say is how you pronounce that. There's a clip going around, a little 8-second clip of while a suit actress portraying Gao White was up on stage. He came up behind her and just straight up grabbed her ass.
Yeah.
And I wanna real quick before I slag him off, I want to give kudos to Gao Red's actor because he gets right the hell out of his seat before it even happens and is like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Stop.
Yeah. That. Good on him for telling him to knock it off. Also, let's just I need to discuss how people are reacting to this because most people are reacting with disgust. Some people are making excuses.
So it's Saburo all over again.
Yep. Or just any controversy. But some people are saying, well, it's a male suit actor, not like an actress. Well, even if it is, male sexual assault's not as good as they're both equally bad. Okay,
bro. Sexual harassment is sexual harassment.
Yeah, that's what it is. no excuses for it. No excuse. Not if it's man or female or whatever. No excuse.
Yeah.
I'm tired of people excusing this. And just don't.
And to my knowledge, Kazuyoshi has not issued an apology or anything like that. Like in the clip, he sits down and laughs about it.
Like it's a joke. That's gross.
And he probably intended it as a joke, but like that shit's. I don't care what generation you're from. If you grew up with it being a joke, it's not a joke anymore. Fuck off and die.
Yeah.
Or fuck off and get better, please.
Yeah. Honestly, this just like people will like this just proves that people will excuse anything if they like the franchise. Like they have this very weird need to defend anything relating to it.
Mm-hmm. I still sometimes hear people who don't believe me about fucking Kamen Rider Super 1 scamming women out of their money, even though he got convicted and went to prison for it.
Wow.
It's fucking hilarious.
Is that like a recent development?
No, this was like years ago. Like I think this is like around the time social media was just getting off the grounds. This news came out.
Because like everyone just says he got convicted. Anyway,
he's still in prison. I should probably check into that.
Anyway, on to possibly extra controversial news. Oh god.
It's only controversial news for you goddamn Zoomers who keep making the joke.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, no, that's bad of me. I shouldn't have said that.
Like,
sorry.
Like, literally, I have never seen anyone say KKK, Tommy, until I met you.
And yeah, the Lightning Collection did the Ninja Pink and Ninja White. I will say the Ninja Pink figure looks pretty good. I really like the Kimberly head sculpt they got on. Ninja White taught me a bit of yikes, if you could.
I mean, it's no more yikes than it was when it was. Actually, it is kind of yikes because I'm looking at that Tommy head sculpt now for the first time. I didn't take a good long look at these when they were first revealed. Yeah, that fully unmasked Tommy head is a bit yikes. It looks pretty generic white man.
I've had some people argue that like, oh, ninjas wear white when really ninjas mostly wear black, and even then, this is a white guy.
Bro, ninjas are nothing like what we fucking think they are like because of pop culture. Don't give me that shit.
Yeah.
Ninjas were literally just hired assassins in the fucking feudal era of Japan, I think.
And Europe got so insulted by it that they banned ninjas, and that's why we have Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yeah. And they didn't have special garb. They didn't have like huge training clans. It was literally like hiring a bounty hunter in the Old West.
Yeah.
But the pop culture ideas of ninja, I will admit I am a fan of. I just find it really hilarious when people go like when people react to the ninjetti suits, to keep it a little on topic, and say like, oh, they're bright and colorful. That makes no goddamn sense if you're calling them ninjas. Bro, calm down about your fucking ninja stealth accuracy.
Yeah.
But no, the Kimberly head sculpt is pretty good. It's definitely a glow up from the one we got with the regular Pink Ranger a few waves ago. This is technically the official reveal of these, but we did know these were coming for quite some time due to A, leaked listings, and B, the fact that they were on the frickin' Ninjetti poster that they revealed alongside Black and Blue a few weeks ago.
What? Oh my god, I'm so uninformed. And that's why, because Vac got pissed that I was so uninformed, that now we're going to be reporting on any leaked listings for Lightning Collection.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a minute, though, because I do need to mention that these are going to be a Target exclusive release. They already went up for pre-order, and I believe they are sold out on both Target.com and Hasbro Pulse. But they will be releasing. They are expected to release to stores by April of 2022. So you might have a chance to get them that way.
Nice. But now on to the leaked listings. Basically, we got a bunch of listings for Rangers that will be coming to the Lightning Collection.
Yeah, thanks to our friends over at Living Ranger Keys Lightning Fig PR account. One of his sources contacted him with some listings they found, and he went ahead and listed all of them via photos. So should we go like wave by wave on this stuff?
let's just go in general, just like what sticks out to us while commenting on ones we might have like missed, and let's just round table it.
I love that we're getting closer to team completion on a lot of sets, and I love that we're starting a few more teams, and
Yeah.
I like that they've seemingly changed the deluxe. The thing I'm most surprised and kind of happy about is that they've changed the deluxe release strategy, because for the last couple of deluxe releases, we've gotten here's two packs and here's two monsters. I think this is them kind of course correcting on that and going, all right, here's free vehicle sets instead.
Oh yeah, I didn't click the second link, but apparently now we're getting vehicle sets?
Yeah, at the bottom of the first link, the image in there, you can see that there's a
vehicle.
listing for Wild Force Red plus vehicle, In Space Blue plus vehicle, and Time Force Green plus vehicle.
Ooh, okay, guys, I thought that meant retailer exclusive. Yeah,
No.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's also really interesting to kind of guess at what vehicles they're going to go with, because there's technically two options for In Space Blue and Wild Force Red. We could obviously get the Savage Cycle, or we get the Wild Force Rider.
Yeah. Let's so we're finally starting Dino Fury with. I'm just gonna not go by wave. I'm just gonna go by just general like character. We're finally getting Dino Fury characters in the collection with red and green.
Zato is coming in wave, I think 10. That is.
Yeah, the first of this leaked wave. And then Izzy's coming in, like, which I'm excited for the Izzy one. I hope they have a removable skirt so you can pretend it's like the old Ranger, and just to show
that would be great if they put that in as like a subtle action figure or action feature. Sorry.
Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't mind if they just removed the effect part, and I'm actually know that people would be pissed. Figure photographers would be pissed if they removed the effect part, although they don't really want. But anyway, we're finally continuing Beast Morphers. We're getting Beast Morphers Yellow. Thank God.
There's one left to go. One left to go.
Are we getting Steel soon? Please? I missed out on the Steel action figure, so can I get a Steel figure, please? Please, please?
The way I understand these, all these listings are coming early to mid 2022. So I could see them doing Steel in the back half of 2022.
I hope.
Also, like, with the fact that all these listings have dropped, I should say we'll probably see photos for at least Zato, Shelby, Zato, Shelby, and Merrick. We'll probably see photos of them, or like digital renders of them at Hasbro PulseCon in a few weeks. Maybe even the next wave after them as well.
I hope they send a prototype to Zato's actor so he can show it off during the panel.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And also there's a
Wild Force.
Yeah. We're getting Merrick, we're getting Max, and we're getting Leo. They are doing not Leo. God damn it! What is his name?
Cole.
Yeah, we're getting Cole, which is really nice. Because I like Cole the character. Obviously, Rick Medina's not the best person in the world, and for a long time we thought we might not get Cole because of that. But here he is.
Just realized why they did him in a vehicle pack, so they can they might use the vehicle pack as an excuse to not make a face sculpt.
Potentially.
Yeah. Or they're just gonna cartoonify the face, make it a bit more caricature.
They could do that, but I think they'll probably try and keep it. They'll probably keep it consistent with the rest of the line, because Hasbro's very into that with their 6-inch stuff. Also, the only re-release on this listing, only confirmed re-release on this listing here, we're getting another In Space Blue, but it's coming in a vehicle pack. So I'm guessing we're getting Galaxy Glider.
Yeah. Also, MMPR Black re-release.
Potentially. That's why there's a question mark over it, because it's not clear what exactly it is.
I think it's going to be a re-release with the Operation Overdrive armor.
Yeah. I saw some people theorizing that. Or it could just be a plain black re-release with an Atom head sculpt.
Yeah. Could
Also,
be.
we have potentially a Machine Empire Zeo villain and a Wild Force villain in two separate waves.
I hope they do Jindrax for the Wild Force villain because Jindrax
Hell yeah! Thank you.
he's one of the cooler designs in
I
that
saw a
show.
bunch of people saying Zenaku, and I'm like, bro, Zenaku was like barely in the show. Give me,
Also, Eric is already in the line.
yeah, give me my goofy clown boy, and then give me
Yeah.
his wife in another couple waves, please.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did a 2-pack.
Speaking of 2-packs, I'm surprised we're getting Coda as a single release because for the longest time, everybody theorized that we were going to be getting a 2-pack of him in Preston.
Okay, maybe like they're gonna do like a re-release 2-pack down the line with like they have like each like let's say they already released Preston by the time they do this 2-pack and they each have like power-ups for the season. Like Coda has his like little like dino like arm like dino charge arm thing. Because I don't think that comes with the lightning figures. And like Preston gets his like a fire battleizer or like even like the cockpit mode.
I can see that. Also, we're getting Kira. We're getting Kira before we're getting Tommy for Dino Thunder. That's insane, and I love it.
Yeah, and actually, this might motivate me to pick up Ethan because I already have Dino Thunder Red, so I might just like get Ethan and then Kira later to complete the set.
Yeah. And then there were also, I think that's everything I want to talk about. We're also getting Damon, and is there anyone else we didn't talk about? Oh yeah, I mentioned him, but Trip, the freaking second Time Force character in the line, and it's Trip. That's kind of hilarious that Jen got snubbed again.
Wait, Jen hasn't gotten a figure? I swear she did.
No, the only Time Force Ranger that has actually been released or announced for the line, because remember these are leaks, is Wes.
Weird.
Yeah.
Especially with like Sins of the Past coming out, you would think they would want to do it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe this is the start of them picking up the pace on Time Force.
Yeah. Speaking of picking up the pace.
So there have also been listings leaked for a red variant repaint of Ecliptor, which is kind of amazing because they barely used that suit in Space.
It's a good repaint.
It's not to my taste, but it's not horrible.
Yeah.
A Lightning Collection Megazord, like full-on premium Megazord, has been listed.
Please combine.
Oh, I have no doubt that's exactly what they're doing. And like I saw a bunch of people saying, "Oh, finally." I was like, "You know what? Makes sense that it took them this long because they probably spent a lot of time trying to re-engineer this toy from the ground up to make it as good as it possibly can be."
Yeah,
or at least that's what I got my fingers crossed for.
Maybe like they did they did during Beast Morphers' airing, they re-released the Dinozords as like regular figures. Maybe that was a test run to
Well, they released at the same time as that like non-transforming Zeo Megazord, and there was something else they put out that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I think they were just kind of like testing the waters all around to see what people would be interested in. But we're also getting a new roleplay toy of the Power Sword, which is whatever to me. I don't particularly care. And
it's a cool sword, but like I'm probably not going to pick it up.
Although, I mean, it's one of the best design swords in the franchise, but it just doesn't appeal to me personally as a toy.
Yeah, that's fair. Although what does appeal to me is a possible Lord Zedd helmet.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people really surprised by this. Like, even Living Ranger Key in his video was like, I didn't see this coming. And I was like, bro, I went to PMC 5. One of the most popular dealer tables that wasn't selling toys was a table that was selling custom Zedd helmets. And I stood by this table for like 20 minutes talking to someone, and I just kept hearing people go up to the booth and be like, that is really cool. How much? $1,000.
Oh.
It's not that cool. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Because it's custom made, so of course they're charging out the ass for it. But this is mass-produced Hasbro product, so it'll probably be closer to like $100 or $200.
Yeah.
And also a Lord Draken helmet is coming.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not at all surprised by that as well. Like, Lord Draken has become a very popular character amongst the casual fans. So, like, Makes sense to make merch of him.
Yeah, I just like anytime Draken's announced, it's all because of the stupid like they keep bringing him back in the comics. Like Shattered Grid, great end for him. Oh no, he's back again.
Bro, did you read that new issue?
I've seen panels of it. I hate what they're doing.
Yeah, it was a little cringe. It was a little cringe, but if you want to hear more about that, go listen to No Prize.
Yeah.
But moving on to more show-related news, the rest of Dino Fury is just getting dumped on Netflix in October.
For everyone in the U.S. and New Zealand and whoever else has Dino Fury on Netflix.
Yeah, according to comicbook.com, it is among the listed releases for Netflix in October, specifically October 15th, when the rest of the show will be dropping. So, I don't know about you or the rest of our listeners, but personally, I feel like the whole Dino Fury release kerfuffle that we've been dealing with over the last few weeks, with the contract ending next year, Nickelodeon is just shitting the rest of the show out, and they're kind of letting the international airings do their own thing, and they're just moving over to Netflix as quickly as possible.
Yep, and let's hope Netflix doesn't screw them over.
Mm-hmm. Let's fingers crossed for some good release scheduling for Dino Fury Season 2. Because weren't you talking about off mic? You wanted quarterly releases next year?
Yeah, like if they're like not like for Dino Fury Season 2, but for like another 40 episode season throughout a year. Like you do 12 episodes in winter, 12 in spring, 12 in the summer, 12 in fall. Or if we're like if you want to keep doing the 44 episodes, but you just spread it throughout a year. Or even maybe because Netflix shows do weekly, and it's like that's working well for Disney Plus, so why not do it on your service? That would be fun. I don't think they're gonna do it, but best quarterly releases would work best for these things. For Season 2, I'd just say just have it in two halves. Just have it like one half in the winter and the other half in the summer. Because we only have 20 episodes left of Dino Fury after Season 1's all done, which we are talking about. Just again, we are talking about the UK airings. So yeah.
Yeah. Spoilers beware. We don't care.
Yeah, because if they're out in English, we're gonna talk about them. Sorry.
Yeah, and then last but not least for the news this week is the fact that another chunk of MMPR Season 2 has been dumped on YouTube. Specifically, Missing Green through Z Waves, which is a pretty good chunk of episodes. I'd say it's like peak Season 2, in my personal opinion, because Missing Green is obviously a seminal episode. It's one people talk about a lot when they're talking about Jason's character. You got White Light in there, which is just a classic for the franchise.
It was the first MMPR episode I watched because it was on this DVD I had with a compilation of Power Rangers episodes. The DVD also had Countdown to Destruction and Once a Ranger and the Forever Red. It was a best of.
You've also got the Ninja Encounter, which I've never thought is great, but it's an episode that's fun, if only for the infamous stroller sequence.
Yeah. Also, I made fun of the Ninja Encounter thumbnail because there's a white ninja.
I saw that. Yeah. And also Z Waves. I never see people talk about Z Waves, but in my opinion, it's an underrated one-off episode.
Is that the one where they turn to kids?
No, that's the one where Zed turns everyone into mindless zombies that are just walking around the park going, "Hail Lord Zed." Except for Skull, who is going, "Hail Lord Fred," and that made me laugh my ass off the first time I saw it.
I should have said Ed. If they're gonna do that running gag, they should have said Ed. Whatever. Why am I giving constructive critiques to a nearly 30-year-old show?
Because that's how this works. That's what we're doing here. Did you not get the memo? Did I send you the wrong job description when I hired you?
Oh boy. Let's get to the new releases. Ultraman Trigger, New Generation Tiga, Episode 10, Wavering Heart. I've been slowly catching up on Trigger, but I have not watched this episode yet, so what did you think of it, Vap?
All right, so minimal spoilers. I was very surprised with how much I liked this episode, because this is an episode that a lot of people have been dreading because, oh god, they're making one of the monsters have a crush on the teenage girl. They play it up completely for comedy, and it works. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I hope it's good funny and not. And it could be cringe comedy, but like,
Like
yeah.
it's playing with very much Japanese flirting tropes, and it's like here's a bunch of like ways you've seen characters flirt in anime that are super cute within that context. But because it's a giant rubber suit monster, it's really hilarious in that he's super awkward at it, and also Vegas is coaching him the whole time, which is
Okay,
great.
that sounds a bit wholesome.
Yeah.
I just hope I like the episode there.
Mhm.
Oh, actually, like since we're on Solid Trigger, I watched the episode 7, the one where like the monster slowly moves like 30 minutes a day.
Oh
That was
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
good. That was
yeah.
pretty
That's a
good.
solid one.
Yeah. Still, I think I'm focusing on what's not there in Trigger at the moment instead of what it could be. But like even so, like I don't know. It's
Yeah.
okay. I still don't think it's gonna be top tier ultra content, but it's okay.
No, I mean, like, I was there with Zed from episode 1, and, like, this, I feel like it really took until last week for the show to pop off properly. Like, I needed that lore dump, man.
Speaking of lore dumps, we got a dump of Dino Fury episodes, starting with episode 15, Storm Surge. What did you think, Vac?
Barely remember this episode because I watched it, like, way to hell last week.
Okay, well,
But I think it was alright.
Yeah, this one is another Ollie focused episode where like him and like he gets a bit distracted by like newest tech. And honestly, I know some people are dissing Ollie.
That plot was slightly cringe, I gotta say.
Okay, but here's the thing: it's cringe, but it's kind of relatable cringe because we all have that friend or have been that friend that's just obsessed with the newest, like not even just technology, just newest thing. Like, oh, did you see? Like, I'm just gonna do a dumb example. Did you see the Power Rangers 2017 movie? Whoa, it just rocked! Like March of 2017 when it came out.
Yeah.
Like people just like so upset, like kind of like, and they just ignore everything else, and that kind of like you can still like a thing, but have priorities. I think that's a nice message. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it. I don't know.
No, I definitely think it's a good lesson to teach kids, and like it's a very real thing that's going on with a lot of people right now. It just felt like it came a little bit out of nowhere for me with Ollie because like I got that he was into technology beforehand, but I never felt like he was obsessed with this degree until this episode.
You know. Also, I like how in an Ollie focused episode, like an Ollie and Javi combo episode, they just be like, boom, Gold Ranger. Like, I like a brief cameo. That was great. Also, fun fact, Gold Ranger debuted around episode 13 or 14 in Ryu Soldier. They waited a bit. They waited a bit to show Gold. And
That's interesting because there was a sequence in today's episode that really made me feel like, is this monster from before the Gold Ranger debuted in Ryu Soldier?
Oh, definitely. I'm sure.
Okay.
But
we'll get to that in a minute.
Solid. Pretty good tease. Should we talk about the big one?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Dino Fury episode 16, Ancient History. I have conflicting feelings, but you start.
So I'd say I'm very much in the same way. First of all, I just want to talk about the character of Ion in general.
Yeah, that works.
I'm liking him. I really like his look. I feel like he tends to have the best fit of any of the Rangers so far, which is not unusual for a Sixth Ranger. And my only complaint with him is his actor's name is Jordan Fight, right?
Yeah.
When he's morphed, something about his voice doesn't sound quite right with the suit choreography to me. Like it sounds just a little too understated.
Yeah, I could see. I could see that. Like in his debut fight, he was a bit dry. He got better as the fight went on. Like it's clear that he's more like he likes to do like more like physical stuff instead of like ADR. Like he's not the greatest of ADR, but like
he's definitely more of a reserved personality.
Yeah. And I kind of didn't. I thought he was going to be a bit more outward because Gold's character is a very flamboyant character to be a soldier. To put it simply, he's a simp. And so it was a pretty interesting change that they decided to make him a tad more reversed, but still a bit like jumpy, like like showing off.
It's interesting that. Oh God, I completely forgot where I was going with that brain fart.
Yeah. Let's talk about why Gold came back, because that's a part of the conflicting reasons about this episode.
Yeah, so Gold is from Rafkar, but unlike what I predicted, or Rafcon, goddammit, he is from Rafcon, but unlike what I predicted, he's not from modern Rafcon. He's one of the original Knights.
Yeah.
And apparently, we find out and deal with in this episode, he has a big fucking problem with Zato because Zato is sort of tangentially responsible for the creation of the Sporex.
Yeah, not the creation. The Sporks always existed. So, like, what I get out of here is that the Sporks were always there on, like, Rafcon. They were just, like, and the thing is, like, they wanted to use, there's some great evil that was coming to Rafcon, and they're like, well, we gotta use the Sporks beast, and, Aeon and Zato were buddies, but then, like, Zato's like, you know what, I gotta trust higher authority, and, look where that led to. I do hope they elaborate on this, because I'm not sure how I feel about Zato being kind of, because, like, in the first episode, they implied everyone on Rafcon is dead, and this makes me think that's not the case. I hope they elaborate that's not the case.
I always thought it was like the planet was devastated, but could have come back. However, the Knights never found out if they did because they had to chase the Sporks to Earth.
Yeah, good point. I just hope they elaborate on, like, modern Rafcon, or just, like, if this, like, what, because if it was just devastated, like, that's actually pretty a good, like, twist. I just hope they elaborate, but, like, if it initially thought, oh, everyone's dead, and I was like, so when I saw, like, that Zato was partially responsible, it's like, and at the end of the episode, when Aeon we'll get to that, I got some more things to say when Aeon forgives Zato, like, I thought, wait, really getting him off, letting him get off that easy? But
it felt a little quick, I will admit. Like, there's a lot they're squeezing into 22 minutes here.
Yeah, but, like, I'll get into the reasoning, because there's a behind-the-scenes reasoning for that bit, but let's first talk about why he's brought back. The Morphin Masters be like, hey, Aeon, Zedd's back, so, wake up, bitch.
Yeah, that the Rangers are going to help, because if literally it was something you do not awaken, I forget what the exact line was, but it was like the Green Morphin Master shows up and goes, Gold Ranger, you are needed, if not, Lord Zedd once more. So, Zedd's going to be a big bad.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And Ion's probably going to make a big sacrifice towards the end of the show.
And here's what I'm guessing they're gonna do. This isn't what I want. Keep that. I'll get to what I think of it. But, like, I think they're gonna be like Zedd's the season 2 big bad, and you know that great evil that was coming for Rafcon. That was Zedd.
That would be interesting.
Now, actual thoughts.
You're just fucking allergic to continuity, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay, to be fair, I don't hate it.
You're like the opposite of every goddamn nerd I've ever met.
Okay, to be fair, I like the episode where Zedd first appeared.
I don't know why you're worried. Like, if they handled that well, they could handle further appearances well.
Okay, fair. I just feel like he should have been saved for the Christmas special instead of like a post-series thing.
What the fuck do you want Zedd in a goddamn Santa suit?
Yes! This is Power Rangers. They can do it. They can do it and make it work. They showed the Dark Rangers in Zedd's reappearance. You know, anything's possible at this moment.
Fair enough, I guess.
Yes.
Oh my god, I just had a thought. What if Zedd comes back in the stinger for season 1 tomorrow, because the season 1 finale is airing in the UK tomorrow as of us recording this.
No, it's actually the first part of the finale.
Okay, so that it's airing on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's airing this week.
The stinger for the finale, I'm calling it right now. Zedd walks into Void Knight's destroyed base after the Rangers have defeated Void Knight, and he's got the Dark Rangers with him again.
That would actually... Okay, you know what? If that's the case, I'm actually okay with that. I'm just a Dark Rangers shill.
Like, the Dark Rangers are great. They're one of the most... You know what? They are the epitome of a suit that's so bad it's good.
Yeah, I can see that. And then let's get to the production reason about why this episode kind of fell a bit rushed. So Simon Bennett did want to do, like, the producer of Dino Fury, he did want to, like, expand this a bit. Hasbro, however, gave him, I'm not sure if it was Hasbro or if this was a Saban edict, because I've heard rumors that Saban was still involved with Dino Fury. I don't believe it, because that just doesn't line up with what I've heard, but okay. That, like, Rangers being rivals with Rangers is, quote-unquote, unrangerly. Brother, that's literally why Tommy Oliver was popular in the first place. Getcha.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a Hasbro thing or if it's a Bond thing. I hope this restraint goes away because
It seems like Hasbro, from everything we've heard from Bennett over the last few months, it seems like Hasbro is very resolute in having the Rangers be like pure and true of heart heroes through and through from now on.
yeah. Although that's weird when a thing like I know the 2017 movie was kind of a flop financially, but the thing everyone praises about the movie is like, oh, the Rangers are flawed character, and
But
people like
also,
that.
they weren't involved in that whatsoever. They
Yeah,
probably don't know that.
yeah. They probably like they weren't involved in the whole kerfuffle.
And
Um,
like I could also say the same thing about Tommy. Like, yes, they have a lot of people on staff who are nostalgic for MMPR. They might not be that aware of the online MMPR discourse.
Yeah, that could be correct. I don't know. Executives are weird, and even with Saban gone, we're still gonna have to deal with executive mandates.
Yeah, because like we didn't talk about it on the show because I didn't really consider it news, but we found out from Simon Bennett recently that he doesn't want to do Lupin Ranger versus Ranger as an adaptation. He personally does
Yeah,
not want
keep
to
in
do it
mind
because it would
he
be
didn't see them.
morally complicated to do a show where um, cops and bad guys are and cops and thieves are both portrayed as heroes.
Yeah, like now keep in mind he basically just gonna give whatever Hasbro wants him. He just this also goes with Q Ranger. He could still like I'm not sure if he'll leave if they do Q Ranger next, but like we're just gonna assume he'd like
Bro,
anyway.
Hasbro could dump fucking Mask Man on his desk and be like, make it work, stupid.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Honestly, he's been doing a really good job with it. We'll
Mhm.
see what he can do with more weird concepts
Yeah,
later
but
on.
getting back to this episode,
Yeah,
I do think that the conflict between Zato and Ion in in the present is fairly well handled. I like how the two actors play it. I like that Zato is mature enough to realize like, okay, maybe I do have to step back and give Ion the chance. And I like Ion learning the lesson of like it is hard to be the leader. You have to make tough decisions. Like that's all good stuff for kids to see. However, I just find it weird that like Ion apparently held this grudge through the entire war with the Sporex.
we're getting a flashback soon in a future episode. The French airing. I saw that was so maybe I'll elaborate on that. Um,
Hopefully. Like that was
I
the
don't think.
biggest problem I had with this batch of episodes was just like, wait, so you stayed with them and you were a Power Ranger through the entire war with the Sporex, but all these years later you're still pissed at Zeta.
Um, well, maybe what I'm thinking is maybe they lost the war to the Sporex, so that could be a thing. I don't know.
That doesn't track at all with the premiere though, because they were all
Yeah,
sealed up in Dino Henge.
well, like some sacrifices had to be made. It was clear, so maybe the sacrifices is that. I don't
Could be
know.
interesting.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah.
we still don't know what happened to the other Rangers. The
We're getting a
original.
flashback soon. So
Ooh, ooh.
yeah.
Backstory, lore, yes, continuity, everything Buster's afraid of.
Look, I like continuity within its own series. When we start like doing chocolate and peanut butter, that's where I get a bit
Sorry, I had to take that. I saw my shot. I had to take it.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair with how I reacted. You're totally valid to do it. But yeah, for the mandates and for what they had to do within 22 minutes, this was pretty solid. Nice dramatic episode. The music got a nice bump, and
Yeah, I feel like they introduced a few new tracks to go along with the Gold Ranger debut.
yeah, I just like in the other episodes, like the music's getting a bit bumped. There's a bit more orchestra, especially with the Zords. I really like that.
The action because I think this is the episode where it happens. The action sequence where he's surfing around on the crate is amazing.
Yeah, that was really creative. Also, like when Green and Black they're in the little cardboard boxes. That's cute. Episode 17, our hero is pretty cute filler.
I found this episode a little trite.
Yeah.
Like it's just a plot line that I've seen a bunch of times before. It's okay, it's a solid premise. Yes, it's a lesson kids need to learn, but like it feels really weird to introduce the Gold Ranger, do a whole thing with like he has more to learn even though he's been a ranger for a longer time than most of the team. And then you go into this lesson where like he has one of the most childish arcs of the entire cast so far.
Okay, I'm gonna defend this. Okay, so keep in mind, I'm pretty sure like when the Rafcon Rangers were Rangers, all they did was fight. They didn't have to deal with any emotional lessons. All they did was fighting. Because like from what it seems, it was like an all-out war. There was like no humans to like help out and do plots of the week with. It was mostly fighting, so it makes sense that they aren't all like emotionally complicated.
Fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, that's my take. And also, it kind of like, like this is like again modern times. Like he's a bit domesticated. This is
Also,
domesticated.
the highlight of this episode, I would say though, is freaking Campbell Cooley cameoing as one of Sliver's disguises.
Yeah, and it's funny because he's the voice. That's great.
And I swear to God, he looked like fucking Don Callis from AEW. I laughed my ass off when I realized
He
that.
kind of look like a wrestler now.
Yeah.
Also, like speaking of Sliver, I do like how they're keeping like a consistent color motif with his disguises.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, solid episode. Got nothing else to say.
Same here.
Crossed Wires, episode 18. What happened in this?
This is the one. First of all, first on-screen homosexual kiss in the show.
Yeah, I
Big
mean,
moment,
I'm
really
criticizing it for being a bit sloppy, but I'm like, come on, guys, it's a kid show, and it's.
They're also teenagers. Do you remember what it was like to be a teenager in a relationship? That shit's awkward as fuck.
Also, I was not a teenager in a relationship, so I cannot speak on that.
Yeah, no, we get a lot of Izzy in this episode because it's an Izzy Ollie focus episode, which is an interesting combo, and it's focused around the fact that Izzy is okay. Buster, go on your fucking rant.
Okay, so Izzy is a bit like weird with technology, and I'm gonna defend this. People will be like, "Well, she just says all the slangs, and she's clearly using social media." Look. Just because you use social media does not mean you're good with, like, engineering. Also, electronics classes don't exist. That was clearly an engineering class. I don't know why they called it an electronics class.
Yeah. The whole situation there is really weird.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a solid plot. I never thought I'd see a bomb diffusion in modern Power Rangers. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's really like a sleep bomb, not like an actual bomb.
Yeah, but still, it's that trope.
Yeah.
And also like just some of the ways people like fell asleep because of the sleep bomb blaster cannon thing were really hilarious. Like how freaking Javi just gets knocked on his ass when it goes off big time, or Ollie. There's something about I forget the actor's name, but something about Ollie's delivery of "It's up to you now," and he just falls over.
Kai Moya, I think.
Yeah, Kai Moya. His delivery was like I'm pretty sure intentionally hilarious.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, I actually really like his actor generally. He always delivers these snarky yet still likable, like because I feel like in the wrong actor, Ollie could come across as super unlikable. But like Kai still has this like unlikable energy.
The thing about Ollie, because like I get that Ollie is one of your favorite Rangers. He's not for me, but I do like him. And the thing that I like about him is he is that guy who thinks he's cooler than he is, but not to an annoying degree. So the rest of the friend group lets him get away with it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I like that. Like he's definitely that is such a dork, and I love it. Also, like this was like one of the episodes where actually I want to mention this because they show off a new Zord combination. This actually brings to mind something I noticed. So I think I know why the reason they just in the beginning of the series they're like, okay, the Dino Fury Rangers have everything. Beast Morphers had weird introductions to new power-ups, like specifically Beast X mode. Like that's a big plot thing. That should be like a new power-up. That should be a big plot thing. And it was in a filler episode.
I literally remember nothing about how it was introduced.
Yeah, all I remember was like it was a filler episode, and it was literally just it's not even like a power up that was meant to be a higher power. It's literally just we can save Cruz if we do the thingy. The power up.
I remember Beast X Fury better because that was like a 2-episode arc.
Yeah, not even just that. It was just a good, well done arc. So I feel like these writers, because similar writers to Beast Morphers, just 7 minutes. Like we got new choreography. But like the writers realized, you know what, we're not the best of Zord and new power up introductions, and we kind of want to keep doing these like fun like one offs that still build up. Let's just have saying, okay, you have everything except a few, and you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, Zato will just tell you when you need to use stuff.
Yeah,
which is another benefit of rolling the mentor Red Ranger role together.
Yeah. I feel like we need more mentor Red Rangers, or at least Red Rangers that are like, in charge. Like,
I would love it if it's like a hallmark of the Hasbro Simon Bennett era of just like, don't keep it the Red Ranger, but like every season, one of the Rangers is also the mentor. Like next season, let's have the Pink Ranger be the mentor.
Yeah, or like Nate was kind of the mentor in Beast Morphers in a way, or like the guy who made all the gadgets.
I would put him in more of a tech support role, and I'd put Ravi's mom in the mentor role.
Yeah, good point. Speaking of mentors or older people, episode 19, the Makeover. I surprisingly did not hate this because
this episode was adorable.
Yeah,
okay?
all
the stuff is great.
Okay, I wasn't worried because it was a hot pop focused episode. I was worried because body swapping. I have complicated feelings about body swap episodes. Okay.
Okay, so before you get into your rant, I just want to say I'm tired of body swapping as a trope. It's one of those kids shows tropes that I feel like I've aged out of, primarily because I have the same criticism with every body swap episode, and it's a thing where it's like, okay, I know you're not doing this because you're a kid show, but god damn it, if body swapping happened in real life, everybody would be going, oh, that's what it's like to have a dick, or oh, that's what it's like not to have a dick. And here, they had a freaking analog for that in Amelia trying to use Zato's antenna.
Oh.
So I'm happy.
Okay. Anyway, what else? Body swapping. I feel like this could have easily been a bad body swap because I think the appeal of body swap is, besides a kink for some people, is just like hearing actors portraying their fellow castmates. They didn't do that here because everyone was ADR'd with their own voice of the body they were in.
Which is a body swap trope I'm not a fan of, especially when it's made diegetic. When people go like, Pop-Up has a moment where he's like, Amelia, you sound a little different. What's going on? I hate that. Like, just use it as a context clue for the kids watching. Don't make it diegetic.
Yeah. Or just don't even do it at all. Like, have the actors, act.
Yeah.
But like other than that, I like this episode specifically because it doesn't really focus on the body swapping. It focuses on Pop-Pop, and Pop-Pop is a good character.
Yeah, and he's adorable in this episode. Like I really dug the subplot with him and his new girlfriend in this episode. It reminded me a lot of a movie I was forced to watch with my parents a few years ago, The Intern. Have you ever seen that?
No.
I believe it's Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway, and it's Robert De Niro is an old retired guy who gets hired by this new tech company as an intern, and it's run by Anne Hathaway, and it's very much like, oh, old dogs still got some useful tricks for this young up-and-comer kind of a thing. And it's cute, but it's very cliche.
Yeah, that was a fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I know
there's a romance subplot in it with him having like another older lady he's interested in, and this reminded me of that. I meant to say.
Okay, because like I thought it was Anne Hathaway, and I was like, what?
No, Anne Hathaway's like his surrogate daughter.
Oh, that makes more sense. Solid episode. It seems like we're gonna now head into the 2-episode finale, then the Christmas epilogue.
Yeah, we'll talk about those next week.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exciting stuff coming up.
Dino Fury continues to mostly not miss.
Yeah, I feel like these episodes aren't as strong as like other batches we've covered. Like there aren't
the biggest problems we've had with the show so far are still like nitpick level stuff. So that's good. That's really good.
Either nitpick level stuff or stuff we don't know the full content.
Mm-hmm. Like this could get better with later reveals.
Yeah. Like the Zedd.
Like
stuff.
Zedd coming back with the Dark Rangers.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Revice. Kamen Rider Revice, Episode 4, Lack of Love Gives Birth to a Dangerous Demon. I actually like this one.
I'm very conflicted on this one.
Okay, elaborate.
So like, I don't know. I have like a massive nitpick with this in that like, it mainly has to do with the ending scene, and that's that they freaking swept the bankruptcy plot under the rug for the rest of the episode and presumably the rest of the series. It's just like, oh, Phoenix will pay the rent now. What? Yeah. That was an option? It comes out of total left field, and like I feel like it would have been way better if they had used that as like the final thing that gets Iki to sign the contract, like anything for the bathhouse kind of a moment. But it comes after he signed the contract, so it feels so weird and random.
Yeah. That I can see that.
That's like I feel like that's a massive writing like that. I don't even feel like that's a nitpick. I feel like that's straight up a plot issue there.
Okay.
But
I like the Fi's form. That was pretty cool. I finally got to see the expensive motorbike, mostly in CG, but still.
yeah, I love. We paid $50,000 for this big expensive hover bike. We're gonna CG it now.
Yeah. I think it's more just like a prop to showcase at like the events. Really like. And again, they're going drunk on anniversary money this season.
Yeah. The plot with the mom and the daughter, the people of the week episode plot, I felt like that was fairly solid.
Yeah.
It feels very cliche, but it's like it's a good cliche to play on, especially for a kids show.
Yeah, and just
And
like
the freaking acting from the mom in the scene where she's just like she's begging for forgiveness, or like the earlier scene when she's screaming because one of her daughters kidnapped the other daughter. That was great. That was a really good performance.
And I think it actually also this cliche works with the whole deal of a devil, like, you know, people like combating like misdeeds of other misdeeds. I feel like that's gonna be a common theme through this series. With the demons.
I just remembered my other big problem with this episode. Sorry. So like last episode, I talked about how much I enjoyed the fact that they kept it subtle that Iki liked Ayaka. They just come out and say it and like show us full on flashbacks of them in school uniforms in this episode. Yeah. That felt pretty cringe. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like you have Sakura acknowledge it in this episode, like say like, "Hey, I know you care about her," and him be like, "Oh, she's just a childhood friend." And then maybe bring Ayaka back in another few episodes and elaborate on it with flashbacks there.
Yeah, like you thought it was too soon?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Gratuitous, I think would be the word.
Vice was okay.
Vice was barely in this episode, thank God.
Yeah, like I guess like I think he works better as just like that, just like a person just like tags along. Like not really like as a main character. I mean, maybe he'll get like a sympathetic. He's gonna get a sympathetic backstory. I don't know if it's gonna be good. Although from the preview of next episode, it looks like Vice and Revy aren't gonna be the only writers for a while.
Yeah. Because thanks to magazine scans and whatnot, we already know Kamen Rider. Yes, that's how I'm gonna say it every time. He's coming.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not really. I think I like the design, but like a bit too soon.
Maybe. Also, it's crazy that it's presumably not Daiji.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a George or like a new character.
I could see it being George, especially with him working out this episode. God damn, George had such fucking Chad energy this episode.
Yeah,
with the fucking CSM and Figuarts and just working out in his fucking Sky office.
Yeah, bro, that's like a billionaire like Kamen Rider movie.
George is the person every Kamen Rider fan wants to be.
Yeah, basically. We gotta make him working out the no wait, Dino Fury's still happening. I was gonna say if Dino Fury wasn't happening, we gotta make him working out.
I've already got an Ion thumbnail ready to go.
Nice.
But no, and I also really enjoyed the Iki and Daiji finally like letting some of their issues with each other out and having that big blowout argument. Like that felt very real. That felt like it was written exactly like how siblings argue about big issues. And then freaking having the mom come in and help them make up indirectly. That felt really true to life. Like the family, it's really impressive because the show was marketed about like this is going to be a Kamen Rider show about a family, and I was like, yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I trust Toei to handle that. So far, the family stuff has been some of the best stuff in this show.
Yeah, like they're really like playing into it and like, you know, using it for good character development. And you know, like it, like we know there's probably going to be like a moment in this series where like everyone goes apart or goes their separate ways. But like, you know, they're doing a good job of like making us care about this family.
Yeah, just a really, really solid episode in that regard, I would say.
Yeah. Then for Zenkaiger, we got 2 because the manga episode took a bit longer because, you know, manga panels take a bit longer to translate. So Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, episode 28, the weekly shonen manga world library. That's a long title. What did you think?
This episode was okay. I don't know if it was worth the wait for the subs though. Like I feel like I could have watched this without a lot of the manga panels being subbed. No offense to Overtime. I appreciate them taking the extra effort to sub it. Like that's clearly hard work and thank you for doing it. However, like the fact that you get those manga panels and also there's spoken lines that are subbed, I'm just like I don't know. There's spoken lines that are subbed. I'm just like I don't know.
I think it's because it's like black and white, and the subs are white, so that would like kind of contrast with the.
Entirely possible, but like also Overtime puts a stroke on that.
Yeah, good point.
And
way,
the episode overall is just like a very solid plot of the week with a little bit of hinting at something that's to come.
Yeah. A very fun episode. As like, so there's a lot of cute manga jokes and stuff.
I imagine people who are big manga readers will enjoy this episode. I, however, am not. I like Western comic books. I like real sequential art. Thank you very much.
Great. Let's move on to the next episode before the lead is. Yeah. So the episode that aired this week was Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, episode 29. What's the prince really after? What did you think?
I enjoyed this episode a bit more. I'd say it's basically the same kind of thing as the previous episode, but there's a bit more overall plot in this episode, which made me more interested in it. Like, all of Stacy's scenes in this episode are banger.
Yeah, like the Stacy parts and just like the tennis, it was great. For me, this was one of the best one-offs in Zenkaiger, just because...
I did really dig the monster design with his freaking tennis ball dreadlocks.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty sick. I also love how they keep using Super Tukai's super speed. Like I like how that's not going away on like other Six Ranger super speeds. Solid. Like, should we talk about the Hat Kaiser tease?
Yeah. So thanks to magazine scans, we know there's a new antagonist that's appearing in the series starting very soon.
At the end of the episode, remember they showed it?
Yeah, who is called Hawkeiser, and
he's based on Ninja Captor.
Yeah, which is amazing because. I saw some people doubting and saying otherwise on the TL. Ninja Captor was considered a Super Sentai at one point. So Ninja Captor is like the forgotten Sentai. So it's really cool that they're bringing in a homage to it here.
Yeah, and I just like how the villains are like, like things that like just obscure Sentai like factoids. Like, people considered Battle Fever J the true start of Sentai until Go Ranger and Battle Fever Jack Q got like grandfathered in, even though they were kind of Sentais, but like, they were like part of the Sentai franchise because other things could be considered Sentais, and God, my brain hurts.
I've gone cross-eyed.
Yeah, that. But yeah, solid stuff. Really except for the Hat Kaiser tease. The Hat Kaiser tease was pretty dope.
Especially with the implication from the manga episode. We get a little scene of Ijirude looking over the file for Kaito's dad, and this episode at the end, Hawkeiser shows up. I think Hawkeiser might be Kaito's dad.
I know that's gonna be when that final battle between him and Kaito. Oh, that's gonna be so good. Speaking of battles, in a way, because that's all the new releases. And I did some digging because so let me explain. So I just realized that I'm most creatively proud and some of my most successful videos are tokusatsu related. So I'm just like, I'm gonna review every Heisei Kamen Rider series throughout the next few months.
Oh my god, you're Markusatsu?
Okay, look, he takes a few years. He does a few years. I'm gonna do it over the next few months. Because I'm crazy, and anyway, my videos are shorter than everyone else's anyway. Yeah. But he does more he gives a bit more production. I want to go a bit more analyst, okay, this is this character, this is why they work or why they don't work, and stuff. Like more thoughts on I might expand more later with other videos, but the first series I'm doing is X-Aid. So I watched X-Aid this week, and it's just as good as Remembrance. So for some background, X-Aid was my first Kamen Rider series.
Oh god, I just turned into dust.
Dang. Well, to me, I knew what Kamen Rider was, but I never really watched full episodes. I just watched clips, and then X-Aid was the one I'm I'm gonna get into. and it's a great series. Just as good as I remember it. When I was watching, I feel like, I think this is what people talk about when they say Gaim is like all these like little touches with the power ups and thematics and like especially with the video game and doctor theming of how like juxtaposed to each other is. It's just all so clever. And the ride when Kamen Rider Chronicle gets introduced and they give everyone the power to become a Kamen Rider, that's nutty and that raises the stakes. And and then Kronos is such a big bad. And then Genom like gets progressively more insane as the series goes on. It's just so good. What do you think of X8, Vac?
X8's pretty good. I'd say it's up there in the top tier of writer shows I've seen. God, I haven't seen much of it recently, so I don't have any like super detailed thoughts. Just like certain character beats and things I liked. Obviously, Dan the Man is everybody's fucking favorite.
Yeah.
And he's up there for me too. I am a staunch defender of Poppy Pipa Popo. She's a brilliant character. I don't give a fuck if you don't like idols. She's great.
I'm just indifferent.
Nico was also a pretty good female writer.
Yeah, I see too many people dissing on Nico. No, she's one of the best characters, especially because she gives Taiga some depth in the show, because most of Taiga's backstory was relegated to episode 0, and that was not cool.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll say it. I totally ship her and Taiga.
And they're more of like a father-daughter thing. And there's an age disparity between them when you think about it.
I've seen weirder shit out of Japan, Buster. Like you don't know. You don't know.
Oh, whatever.
But I'd say my favorite character in the show is probably frickin'
Furia?
No, Brave. I really like Brave.
Yeah, Brave's pretty decent. I do know why people love him. I love his suits. He didn't really hit as much he has great emotional beats. I just found everyone a tad more interesting. Like I put him higher than Taiga, but like lower than Kiria and Parad. Parad's also really
one of the moments I really remember from the show is spoilers when Kiria and Taiga finally make up and set aside their differences. Like that ending of the episode where they're like being super respectful towards one another. That was good shit.
No, that was like early in the episode. Was it an early arc or later arc? Like I just watched.
No, I remember it being like right after they make up. Like it's either at the end of that episode or the start of the next episode.
Yeah. Was it a later arc or
No, this was like late 30s, early 40s.
Okay, yeah. I should have known because I watched it all finished it. It just all blurs together when you watch it all in one. So
yeah, if like thinking back, I think my biggest complaint with the show, if I were to lobby any, is just when Kiria comes back from the dead. I hate the way they play to reveal that he's still a good guy. I hate him whispering in the ear and us not finding out what it is until a few episodes later, and it just being, oh yeah, he's good. He's a good boy. He just wants Emu to play along, and like Emu never says that to anybody else.
Yeah. That's fair. I mean, I guess that's to make it more dramatic, or it's part of the plan or something.
I mean, that's definitely what it is. It's just it was groan-inducing back when I first watched it.
Yeah, but yeah, this is a really good show. Would recommend it if you are looking for a starter season for Kamen Rider, XA, double O's, fours. Those, yeah, good stuff. I do love how they play with they do a lot of neat things to play with the Kamen Rider stuff, but I'll explain that more and more. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, I think that wraps us for this week. So, Buster, why don't you go ahead and let the good people know who you are and where they can find your content?
What's up? I'm Buster Corp. I released 2 videos this week. Hooray!
Whoa!
I released actually 3. I relived the hype train of Super Smash Bros. 4. I talked about an offensively bad musical, and I also brainstormed ideas for Power Rangers Season 30 because I like sometimes writing elaborate fan fiction and it as a video. Yeah, that's all I got. What do you do, Vac?
Hey, I'm the Vacuuminator. I'm a YouTuber as well. My most recent video is on the first episode of Power Rangers ever released. So if you want to go check that out at youtube.com/thevacuuminator and follow me on Twitter at thevacuuminator. But that is all we have to talk about for this week in Tokusatsu, folks. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week when we find out whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.